Brad's on. Brad, can you hear us?
Put together like a plan on.
I think you might be. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Briefly.
It was nice reading your minutes online.
Oh, well, I was actually gonna mention to them that hopefully this next month they'll be back on track, and
It was nice
We've had
being able to read them online.
a lot of different things that, been busy this last month, so I'd
Yeah.
like to get them out a lot sooner than what we did. But, yeah, Amy said this morning, she's like, I got them on there.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. Hope not
We
you're taking a
separated us
vacation.
tonight. Well, it's all right, there's a single thing. Brad's online, isn't he? Is that
Yes,
what-
he is, so yes, yeah, move around however you like.
Thanks, truly.
It's like that, kind of.
The big.
Well, and it is nice too, just have to.
Oh, yeah. If you're tied up, you can't get out.
Yeah.
On the, on a trip. Go here.
Test 1 2, test 1 2. Are you getting audio?
Yes. Can you hear us, Brad?
You're a little faint and muted with your mask on, but I can hear you.
Good. Mm-hmm.
Rain missed us again.
Hmm?
Rain missed us again.
That's-
Is there an April folder on the Google Drive?
Yes.
Why you doing that, Cheryl?
What am I doing?
What you said down here?
No, my nameplate's right there.
Oh,
Oh,
must have got hit on the head. Worked on your neighbor's house last Friday or Saturday.
Which one?
We only got one.
One neighbor?
Little red brick house. Next to the
Oh.
driveway. Oh. I didn't like that. Oh. There's a story behind that. Story behind that.
No.
Story behind that. Oh.
No, it only has
It
to
wasn't
be my
no,
brain
was it?
today, not my poor neighbors.
Good.
No.
How you doing?
Doing well yourself?
Good, good.
Congratulations, here you've got your first plan commission meeting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it'll go well, so. And how have you been, Jeff?
Doing okay. How about you guys?
We've been doing okay, so we're going along and, I got my shot on the 19th, I think is what I heard first.
So excited.
Very good. Just Hunter Mize decided to get it, so that's good.
Yeah, so you had yours?
I know mine.
First one. I've got one more to go.
Fun times.
I work
Oh,
in
yeah.
vaccine clinic at Riley. It is the happiest place in the
Well,
world.
looks like
It's
it'll be a
like
fairly
this-
short meeting
I'm not
tonight.
kidding.
There's a famous last word sometimes.
From my, I don't have anything. I'm just
Exactly.
watch,
I mean, it's just
yeah.
like, I know, it's so true.
I got a friend that's working at the county.
Kyle.
Just been enjoying this gorgeous weather.
Ex-nurse, she's been giving
Nice to
shots.
get
She's
some
saying,
shower.
everybody's just happy.
Hopefully it'll pop back up in the 70s next week.
So
again.
Riley started with older people, which is unusual for Riley. Yeah.
Because the people that live in that district could go there. And Riley was an open, really nice little clinic. And, the first couple, I would come there and escort people in and out because they didn't know where I was going.
Yeah.
I had one gentleman in a wheelchair and his wife, and they were just
Con.
offish.
Yeah.
So I finally said, you seem really anxious. And somebody even said, "You're not in our house." And she started crying a little bit. They were probably 85 years old. It was just, they factored in after that, whatever anybody wanted. So just,
Everyone's here, but
but yeah, she said, so we feel rude.
She said she might not want
Yeah.
to.
Jen,
you
Jen
said she
was
may not.
like,
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
Kyle's
Yeah.
online.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
you know,
We miss,
probably.
Connie.
And Connie just joined.
Just joined.
Yep.
I
We'll
think
figure
it's
that.
no big deal until something like that happens at the time.
So it opened up in the middle of that, like Thursday.
We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order, please, if I could.
They had to place on.
Kayla, could you call a roll call, please?
Sure. Connie Schultz Hines,
Here.
Jenny Sisson, Tim Pritchard,
Here.
Kyle Leghorn,
Here.
Carol Hannah. Here. Brad Valentine,
Here,
Cheryl Rainey Hunt. Here.
Thank you, Kayla. Could please have the board review the minutes submitted and entertain a motion to accept and approve? Or comments?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes.
Thank you, Brad. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Okay, old business, thoroughfare plan, update.
Can everyone see my screen? Is there a way to make the?
Limiting it.
Okay.
Yes, unfortunately.
All right, that's okay. If anybody has any questions, just let me know. Thoroughfare plan update. The thoroughfare plan is moving along very well. I've updated our schedule to show some upcoming dates as well here in the left side of the screen. Marked on April 28th, we're going to be having steering committee 7, and that is 7 of 10 total. Because in August of 2021, we are due to adopt the updated thoroughfare plan. The access management plan the access management and control ordinance was passed on second reading at the March Town Council meeting. It is ordinance 21-03. The right-of-way dedication ordinance, as we discussed at the last meeting, will be included in the Unified Development Ordinance update. Steering Committee number 6 shared great information, C-Packet and Drive. It's got a lot of the results from our survey and uses that information to forecast ways in which the road system around Pendleton might grow with both the ideas of our current residents and future growth patterns in mind. So I definitely encourage you to take a look at that packet if you're curious. Our next steering committee, number 7, like I said, will be held on April 28th. We didn't have great attendance at our last steering committee meeting, so I've included a list of the steering committee members at the bottom of this slide. I know several of you are on that, so if at all possible, please attend. It's a lunchtime virtual meeting, so you can definitely turn your screen off and eat your lunch. We would just love for everyone here to participate. So, and also please bug anybody else you see on this list. An invitation will be going out from Brandon with COG. And a draft is what they are working on right now, is what the product of this month hopefully is going to be. So, look for that by the end of April.
Any questions or comments, please? Okay, thank you. UDO.
Alright, so we are barreling forward on the UDO as well. Updated street standards were received from GRW and were reviewed by the planning department this last week. However, they're gonna go on to be reviewed by the town manager and also our public works guys to make sure they're really in line with what they have seen and practice out in the field and the subdivisions that have been built. Staff is forwarding the forwarded chapters of the UDO to the town attorney for review. Jeff has reviewed chapter 1 at this point, right? And
Yes.
any others, or?
It's on my desk, but it's not.
Okay. Yep, so we're getting through them. And a draft UDO is going to be released to the steering committee and staff. I have this week on my presentation, but I received an update from KK this evening that said tomorrow. So without the appendix, but a draft that really weaves together all of those UDO chapters is going to be available. So we're getting close to some of the final steps of this process as well. We're looking at a final draft to be before this body at the next Plan Commission meeting, so May 5th. And then a public workshop on May 12th, and an open house in conjunction with the Thoroughfare Plan consultants, hopefully on May 17th.
Okay. Questions or comments? Thank you. Okay, interchange master plan.
I listened in on the RDC meeting last Thursday, but that's mainly Scott's board, so he did update them on some progress that had been made. Most recently, Kimley Horn had submitted a draft of the master plan. At this point, we are going to be reviewing it, make sure it's in line with all of our other Pendleton documents, and then get back to them with those edits. They've also sat down with BLN, because BLN is the consultant for the 67th Street extension. So it's been getting one engineer in contact with another consultant, so we can see kind of that those two plans are going to merge together and really work. So yeah, that's the update on the interchange master plan.
Okay. Questions or comments there, please?
So do they have a plan on how the 67th Street extension is going to merge?
Well, the 67th Street extension has been in the works for a long time, since before we've had any sort of plans on how that area was going to develop. I think at this point it's going to be making sure that the road corridor and how it develops is in line with our planning and how we foresee that area developing. So having a certain number of road cuts and not being developed as like say just a really wide roadway with no pedestrian facilities or room for trees or trails. So just merging Pendleton's vision of complete streets with the 67th Street, more engineer kind of focused plan for that street, which has included portions that go all the way up to Anderson. So you'll have to excuse me as I kind of get familiarize myself with how this is all going to work together. So I was kind of a fly on the wall, listening to the engineer who's been working on this project for a really long time, talk with Kimley Horn, trying to kind of merge together the plans we have with the plans they have.
And I would imagine over time they'll still change.
Well, I know last time we were talking about how the what would happen to the truck traffic. And we really didn't have an answer, or a good answer last time, if the truck traffic is coming down that way.
I guess I will echo what Carol just said. That is still a major concern for me. How we mitigate heavy truck traffic that is originating from the Anderson developments, seeing that there is no targeted or planned activities at the 219 exit to really attract that traffic. And probably most importantly, ensuring that we protect the existing property owners here in the community from the negative impact of heavy truck traffic on their property values. And we do not continue to crowd a community that has traffic flow issues as we continue to grow at the residential level.
Agreed. And that is where having an updated thoroughfare plan with those road cross sections showing here's what we as Pendleton envision a typical arterial road looking like, or a typical collector looking like, this wide of a right of way with paths on each side, with maybe a grassy median with occasional turn lanes down the middle, or this sort of standards in place, so that there's a little bit more vision for what that looks like when it goes in. And in all likelihood, and this is something that I was talking to Kim Newborn about, and also to Ellen, it's likely that that area could develop more by our master plans than, I guess more quickly than the 67th Street extension will go in, if that makes sense, because it's such a long-range project. So I think it's important that we have a plan that looks at that aspect as well, that we need to have a plan in place that, you know, says, hey, this could happen, but doesn't say hold up development for the sake of the 67th Street project in case it does take a lot longer. And Josh, you can tell me if I'm off base here.
You're absolutely right.
That, you know, we don't want to hold up development because we have got a great master plan, or because one of the owners out there has a great plan, or somebody comes to them because we say, well, there's this 67th Street extension and we think maybe it'll go in someday and it might kind of look like this. If that takes a lot longer, we need to be able to move on and still carry on Pendleton's vision. So I think that road profile is really gonna control the flow of traffic, Brad, to get back to your question. If we put in a roadway that's not particularly friendly to semi-truck traffic, it's not just shuttling them from one end to the other, then that's not what's going to develop there.
Yeah, so we need to move before they.
I'll still voice my concerns. We can have a beautiful arterial profile from, you know, pedestrian sidewalks, greenways, trees. We can have it, but if we still allow trucks to cut through, that's my concern.
Well, it doesn't stop them on Layton or 600, and that's not a good profile. So,
Well, to Kayla's point, I mean, that development there from our interests, I mean, theoretically, could go on without 67th Street. They could still come off 38th Street and access that old business park. If Anderson fails, or money fails, or whatever else happens.
At some point, it's an enforcement issue. I mean, trucks still try to go down High Street too, and that definitely doesn't work.
Right.
So, you know, if
Or Water
unfortunately.
Street,
Yeah.
sitting on Water Street.
Exactly, yeah.
Your points are well taken though, Brad and
Yeah.
Kyle. Okay. Any other questions, comments? All righty. Extension of the moratorium on, primary plats and zoning map amendments.
All right. So tonight we have an extension to the primary plat and zoning amendment moratorium that was passed back in 2020 in October. The 6 months is up this month. However, we have an estimated second reading and adoption date for our new UDO as of June 10th. So given the short period of time between now and June 10th, it really doesn't make sense to, I guess this is my plea to you as Plan Commission, it doesn't make sense to roll back the moratorium at this point and then put our new UDO in place and go through that again, inviting potentially developers and rezone amendments to zoning classifications that might not be applicable here in a couple months. So it would be a huge draw of my time away from proofing that UDO and really getting in place, which is really what I need to be focusing on at this point, especially until I get another person hired and added to the planning department. So I appreciate it so much if the Plan Commission would recommend approval of the extension of the moratorium. It would just be a repeat of the last one, 180 days, or until the passage of that UDO, whichever comes first. So I do not foresee it being another 180 days, but the town council president has been really generous with it, and I think he'd just prefer not to have to go through this again.
I agree.
I'll make the motion that we extend it. If you're looking for someone to make a motion so that you can execute the legal document that was attached to our package.
We do have to affirmatively solicit public comment on this. Yeah, this is also, don't forget, this is a recommendation to the council. It's
Correct.
Favorable, unfavorable, or neutral.
Have questions or comments?
No questions or comments from me?
Thank you. All right, do we have to open a separate meeting, Jim?
No, sir, I just, is there anyone, just solicit online comments? That very wasn't here at the town hall, wants to make any comments. Just want to make sure that everybody's had an opportunity to say their piece.
No, I totally agree with Brad and the motion. I mean, the UDO is not done yet. The subdivision steering committee is still working on things. We are taxed manpower, building, and everything else right now, so it does make sense, Caleb. So I guess we need a vote on that.
We got a proper motion, it sounds like, would be a motion to offer a favorable recommendation on the ordinance to extend the moratorium.
Okay. We have a motion for the favorable recommendation to extend the motion for 6 more months, 180 days from Brad. Caleb, would you call a roll call on that, please?
Connie Schultz-Hines,
Yes.
Just to be a stickler, would you mind inviting a second?
Second. Yeah, can I have a second on that,
I'll
please?
second.
Thanks, Caleb. We have a second. Now, Caleb.
Connie Schultz-Hines,
Yes.
Jenny Sissett's absent. Tim Pritchard,
Yes.
Brad Icorn,
Yes.
Carol Hanna,
Yes.
Brad Valentine,
Yes.
Carol Rainey Hunt.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. There's no new business on the agenda. You've been waiting patiently. Do you?
No, I just wanted
Okay.
to, no, I just
wanna
was
give you a
great.
chance. I just want to give you a chance.
No, thank you, I appreciate that, I'm just kind of watching and
Okay.
learning and seeing where I need to be at the time I need to be at and such, so.
Well, I appreciate-
But thank you, I
appreciate
appreciate
your
that.
attendance.
Thank you.
Okay. Any further comments or questions?
Do you have anything else?
I got nothing.
Meeting adjourned.
Well, that was a quick meeting.
Been a long.
2 hours shorter than last one.